And today affirmation will be I have what it takes to create a lasting legacy. I boldly embrace my purpose and I will not allow fear to stop my mission. I have what it takes to create a lasting legacy. I boldly embrace my purpose and I will not fear to stop my mission. Welcome to another episode of Life is an Art. Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, we're going to have a very interesting short topic that I want us to discuss about. So, before we start, let me just intro real quick. I am very ready for this year. I feel like we're gonna have a good year. And before that, I just want to say if you are stressing about making goals right now, you should not. Because as much as January comes with all these New Year resolutions that you need to do, I usually take 2 weeks or even the whole month of January just to evaluate, see what I can do different, see the type of habits I want to break, see what type of habits I want to have. It's not really goals, because if you can make a goal, but if you don't have the right structure, you will not achieve those goals. So it's like just trying to build the foundation of the year, mainly just trying to see like some of the goals that you set in 2022, why you didn't achieve them, what made those goals very specific to you, and if those goals are really important to you anymore, and why you want to achieve those goals. These are some of the questions that I think before you even start thinking about New Year resolutions are some of the questions that you should absolutely answer. Trust me when I say this method actually work and you get to achieve at least 80% of what you have written down to achieve in your specific year, and in this case 2023. Look at it this way. In 2018 I went through the normal New Year resolutions, New Year, New Me, and I wrote down what I wanted to achieve without taking into consideration why I didn't achieve the goals that I wrote down to achieve in 2017. So, what happened was I ended up writing goals that were not specific to me and what I wanted to achieve, but rather influenced by what other people felt that I was supposed to achieve. I don't know if that makes sense. And because of that, I believe that in 2018 I terribly failed in achieving most of my goals, and because of that I've ended up carry forwarding those goals because I don't really get take time to analyze like one of my goals. And don't laugh at me, because up until now I really didn't know how to swim. Like I had real panic attacks when I got to water. Like this was so real. Like the moment my head was underwater, I for sure knew I was gonna die. Like you couldn't tell me otherwise. I remember this one time in Diani when we went to like those islands that normally in the middle of the ocean that somehow the tide goes low and an island is comes to surface for some time, like for 3 hours, 4 hours, and the water is normally very clean up to your knees, no big deal. But I remember I just couldn't put my head underwater. I just couldn't move. I was panicking and I was just like, I don't want to do this. I just don't want to do this. And I remember in 2018 I said I want to learn how to swim, and I did go for one class, and all the odds were against me, so I didn't really move forward with it. 2019 the same. I said I wanted to swim and I wrote it in my goals, but I really didn't take time to see why did I achieve this specific goal in 2018. So moving on to 2021, I decided to recess and look at why up to now, 3 years down the line, I still have the same goal in mind. I still want to achieve this, but somehow I just can't get myself to achieve this particular goal. So I I decided, you know what, in 2021, this is gonna be my goal. But then I just didn't think about it so much. I just didn't actualize on it, and just things were not aligning. And in 2022, before I went and wrote a vision board, I did a digital visual board, not the cutting out of papers and everything, because nowadays it's very hard to get magazines. So I did the Pinterest, when you take a picture from Pinterest and put it in like Canva, and created this whole vision board that became my wallpaper. We're going to talk about that maybe on the next episode. So when I looked for a picture of a lady who was in a swimsuit, was swimming in an Olympic pool, and I told myself, you know what, this year I want to do it. And I looked back at 2021, and I saw why I actually, it because it was just something that people around me wanted me to know how to swim, but it really didn't come from me. And it took me watching a traumatizing video online of a lady who drowned, and thinking about how this is just, to me, this one would be really an important life skill to have, rather than just to impress people who thought that I couldn't swim, to impress them and be like, oh hey, I can now swim, yay, we can go swimming together. And I won't drag everyone behind, or be like everyone, when you don't know how to swim, when everybody is willing to teach you and everybody is teaching you everything, but you really just can't digest any of what they're saying, because everybody's like, look, do this, and they swim, and you're like, how on earth did you float? Like, I cannot even float. Like, so not to go on this rampage of swimming, but I just want to drive the point that when I 2022, I decided, I looked for a coach, a swimming coach who is a licensed what do you call, the lifesaver, lifeguard, and with life-saving skills during swimming, and who teaches professionally. And I decided to pay for the lessons, just to do it professionally and just pay for the lessons. I managed to do 8 lessons. I was terrified, and eventually I did. I could float myself, I could do some freestyle, a little bit of breaststroke, I could like float on water. And now I can tell myself, like, if I go swimming with you, I won't need you that much, but I'm still getting there. But you see, it took me looking back and understanding why am I setting this specific goal, and why didn't I achieve it previously? When you analyze your goals in that sense, each and every, like, let's go back to your 2022. If you wrote them down, you can go back to your 2022 new year resolution goals before you set your 2023, because I don't believe there's new year new me concept, more like new year, new ways to make me better. You get new ways to make me better, because it's still you can't change yourself like overnight, but you can learn how to make yourself better. That's what I believe. So when you go back to your 2022 resolution, before you start making your 2023 resolution, I want you to ask yourself these 2 questions. A, why did I set this goal? Why did I set this goal? And 2, why didn't I achieve it? And maybe the third question you should ask yourself is also, why did I achieve these goals? What are the measures that I kept in place to ensure that I achieved this particular goal? Once you have those 3 questions answered, you are ready to make your 2023 goals. Because these goals now will be very specific. We'll have a plan to achieve those goals. Because sometimes we give ourselves um sometimes, like, we give ourselves, like, we really dream overboard, and it's a good thing. But sometimes when you don't achieve that specific goals, you feel demoralized, because you didn't have a plan. It was a matter of hope. I hope to achieve this, but there was no plan to achieve that what you wanted to achieve. So in just to sum it all up, 2023, I believe, is going to be a great year for you. but also I want you to be very specific and put goals that are very specific to you. Do not be influenced by social media or other things negatively to feel like you're in a to make unrealistic goals and goals that are not smart, specific, the smart, measurable, attainable, realistic, time, taking into consideration time. So make sure you make smart goals that are very specific to you. And before you make those goals, remember the two questions: why do I want to achieve this, and how can I achieve it? And why I didn't achieve it in the first place. So, thank you so much for listening to Life is an Art podcast with me, your host, Maggie. So, I'll see you in the next one. Please make sure to share this with a friend, someone who would really benefit from this, and or someone who you feel like they really need to reevaluate how to make their goals. So yeah, thank you so much.